Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Q&A session of our Kickstarter, Emlearal Lands of Adventure. Very, very exciting. I am Michael Carey. I'm the creator and author of the book.
And I am Jennifer DeYoung. I did the design and illustration for the book as well.
So, before we jump into the questions, I do want to do two things. First, I want to say a big thank you to all of our current backers and supporters. You have been amazing. I love you so much. And we're just trying to reach a few more to get us to our goal there. Want to talk about how we got to this point. We took what was our tabletop game and kept refining it and expanding on it and growing until eventually we went, hey, we want this to be in everyone else's house. We want this to be on your tables at home and in bookstores that you can go and buy. So thank you again, and let's get there. Let's start this off.
Okay, so I've got the first question here.
All right.
So I'll ask first. How old were you when you first got into D&D, and how often do you play?
Okay. You're going to be surprised at this, but actually, I started role playing when I was 12 or 13 years old, and it was not D&D. We were aware of it. My brothers and I, we knew what it was. We were playing a lot of other games because we knew as soon as we started playing D&D, there'd be nothing else. We wouldn't go back to any other games. So when I was 20, I started playing D&D, and I am the forever DM. So 23 years later, still playing it. Minimum once a week. We have a regular session. If I could do it, it would be every day of the week. But yeah, you've been playing longer than I though.
I have. I started playing when I was 8 years old. My brother bought a secondhand copy of the original Red Fox Basic game, and he brought that home, and we had a module put in with it, which was the Keep on the Borderland. And I rolled up my first level character and immediately died. I don't even think I got to the Caves of Chaos, and did it again, immediately died. And this kept going on for quite a while until Jimmy got bored of it. And then, so I took over the game and started reading the books and got some friends together.
Nice.
And started playing. I taught them how to play, and
yeah, and that is the key to that is friends, not just yourself.
It's group it's game. True, actually.
Group storytelling.
But it's always been a good time. We play, it used to be twice a week, but now it's twice a month. So my husband Paul runs a game once a month, and then I run a game once a month. And we always look forward to it. We always have a good time. It doesn't matter what's going on. By the end of it, we're usually laughing.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast, too.
It does.
So actually, I have a question. I was hoping no one sent this one in, but I want to know.
Okay.
Because as the DM, whenever I'm playing, I look over, I see you sketching in your book, and you're doing the characters and the story. But how long have you been kind of doing this artwork for the book?
That's been going on for 2.5 years. So we started that off when you had originally gathered your stuff together and put it into a book, and you put it up on Zazzle for your own copy.
Yep.
And then we bought a copy, and I took it home and was looking through it and thinking, there's stuff we could do with this here. Yeah. So I'd asked you for the file and then started working on it at that point. But then when you had decided to publish and you and Amanda asked me if I'd be interested in playing, I think I probably answered yes before you'd even finished asking. I was so excited to do it. And it's been fantastic. I mean, this is very much a dream come true for me, is to be able to draw and illustrate for Dungeons and Dragons.
What else can you ask for, right?
Well, I mean, I've been wanting to do that since I was a kid.
Yeah. So. And if anyone hasn't had a chance, all the artwork that we put out as our promo is done by Jenny Haley, and it is amazing, amazing talent, and it's beautiful. And that's just a glimmer of what's in the book.
We have, it's at least 200 illustrations going into the book. I really need to go through and have a count sometime.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that we keep adding more. It just keeps growing.
That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun.
This is the thing when you're doing a project like that. It's never over. No. There's always more you're adding. There's always more you're refining, and there's always more ideas. But
that's true.
I think we better go on to the next question. So, what writers and creators inspire you, Michael Carey?
Oh, all right. I mean, there's a lot of inspiration out there for not just fantasy books, but for just writing and reading. My favorites being like Stephen King with the Dark Tower series. Love Neil Gaiman. I know you're a Terry Pratchett fan, and the two of
Yeah,
them are great
yeah.
together. I mean, I love H.P. Lovecraft. He's the writer that really strikes me, and taking his ideas, the human alienation and fear, and taking it to a fantasy level. A lot of that does come into play in a lot of nations here, but you can't forget that you got Tolkien,
Yeah.
right? Like he made D&D before it was D&D. Right? And there's so many out there. I know that people are screaming at their screens right now, and I'm sorry if I missed your favorite. Those are the ones that are
It's
my
the
inspiration.
internet. No matter what we say, we will be wrong.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I've got another Michael Carey question
You have
here.
all the questions.
When did you first get the idea to make this book?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say for years before it had a name, I was making notes, not even realizing that I was making a book. I was playing pre-generated worlds and changing cities and places to what I wanted them to be. And I'm gonna say though, about 5 years ago, early 2018, sat down and started putting this together and realizing I had nations and how they would be with each other and borders and suddenly I realized, hey, this has a word, this has a name, and gave it the name of Emlearal, which a lot of people ask me about how to say that.
I think I've been saying it wrong.
But it is Emlearal. And once it had a name, though, it was a project, and it was something that I just had to see through right to this point to today, and hopefully even further. I have so many more ideas that I want to expand into further. We got to cut the book short at 300 pages.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the problem. It keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
save them for the source books and the expansions.
yes, and they are coming. So this is another Michael Carey question.
Right.
What feelings came up for you when you realized that you were going to do this? Fear, joy, excitement.
Oh,
Tell me more about that.
my initial emotion was elation, excitement. I was like a 12-year-old kid. I was ready to go. This was going to be the best thing ever, and I put all of that into writing it. And I still do have that feeling. Once we went to Kickstarter, though, and I'm sure I've bothered you with many of my messages, there's been a good amount of fear. Fear of, did I do enough? Do we need to do more? Fear of what's going to happen with it.
Complete and utter terror.
And then as soon as I have that fear, though, and then I see another pledge and another backer, and I'm humbled by it. I really am. I am touched so greatly by all these people that are backing us. So it's all at once. I am excitedly frightened and very, very humble about
humbled.
this. There's a good amount of humility here.
Well,
and that just shows there. That's how all those emotions are affecting me right now. But I have one that came in for you.
Okay.
Because I've done I've done the writing and the map, but you brought them to life.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite place to draw?
Oh, I actually have a couple of them.
Okay.
I tour school. I have to because it's
the Darklands
the
of the Orcs.
Darklands of the Orcs. That is fun. It's dark, but it's fun. I can't get over drawing for the Orcs actually. Yeah. I also like Amduat because of your inspiration for from ancient Egypt.
Yep, absolutely. The desert lands, you've brought them such bright light to those pictures. I love it.
Yeah, I had to stop myself from drawing more for it, but there are quite a few pictures of it. I'm sure you'll be able to tell. But yeah, those two are my favorite for sure.
One thing I'll say is I've had the luxury of seeing all these pictures. You have taken my words and given them life. There's a picture you've done that is my favorite in the whole book, and I didn't even give you much information, and you drew it exactly as I had it, which is the tower with the ravens on it.
Oh, the Tower of Soren.
Tower of Soren, which we've used in our ads as well.
Yeah.
I've even used that in some of my gameplay, and as soon as I showed that to some of the players, they were like, that's the tower. We were just there the other night. I love it. It's fantastic.
Well, you had this evocative description of this tower with the flocks of the dark birds coming from it, and it was very easy to picture in my head.
If you want more on that, you've got to buy the book so you can know.
Yes. I just like to draw crows. um, I've got one here for
Yeah.
you. It's a similar theme. It's what it was your favorite land or place to create in this book.
I mean, they're all my babies. They really are. There was not a single one of them that was like, I don't want to do that. I'll just. They all have a special place for me. But if I look at my map here,
Okay.
Tolvera
Oh,
is my favorite. It is the Central Empire. It's the beacon of hope for everyone else. It's from where all the other communities and nations spread out from, and the fact that it's, I don't want to say it's a goodly land because it has its own politics and its issues, but it has the reputation of, no matter what, we have to be the beacon of hope for everyone else. No matter what happens to us, no matter how much the infighting goes, we have to look great for everyone. I really enjoyed writing it, and that is actually the focus of my first expansion book. My first Gazetteer book will be all about
yes.
Tolvera and just delving even further into it.
And we've already started work on that one, so
Yeah.
it's not like once the Kickstarter is over, we have one book and that's
Oh
that.
no.
We have honestly like 13 books
So far
planned or in the works.
So far. Yeah. Well, you have 16 nations, and I
Yeah.
would like one day to do a book for every nation, but baby steps. Help us get there. One came in here for you.
Okay.
Uh, I think this came up because of our tavern party add-on, where people can pay extra and have a character of theirs put in the tavern
Yeah.
party. Is you've done a lot of character art.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite character that you've drawn?
Honestly, it's one of the villains.
Oh.
I liked drawing Orc King Gal, which has also been in our ads.
Yes.
Because we've got this description of the leader of the orcs as he is the king that thinks outside of the box.
Yes.
He is clever. He is conniving. He is very smart and very ruthless.
And in ways that players haven't even seen yet in my games.
We're not going to get too far into the plans because
he's a mean-looking orc in that picture, though. He's not an orc I'd want to cross.
I enjoyed drawing that, yeah. But that was a lot of skulls to build his throne.
It was a good skull throne. Yes, the great character art really was, how do you make this perfect villain for a whole world to unite against? And again, his own problems, his own politics. You don't run a nation of orcs easily, so you've got to be the strongest.
Yes.
And there's things in that book that you'll see, the dooms of Emlearal, or his secret weapon, which are, I won't give you anything else on that. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question here.
Mm-hmm.
This one came in for both of us.
Okay.
But I took it that I'll ask first.
Okay.
Which is, how much would it mean to you to have this dream become a reality?
That's a hard one to answer, actually. Mm-hmm. Because I am well aware that if this becomes a reality, we back our book and everything. That's where the hard work really starts. Yeah. But at the same time, this is something I've always wanted to do for my entire life, is to draw and illustrate. I love making books. I love drawing for D&D, and it's an excuse to draw dragons. I can't get over that. It would mean a lot of stress, but it would also mean that I get to continue doing what I have been doing, and for many more books.
Many more, yeah. We've got. Did we bite off more than we could chew?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're getting there, and we want to.
We will love to find that out.
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, this is would be a dream come true. I can't get enough of the idea of working on a book with you and having it out there. Yeah. My words, your art, and other people's tables, other people playing it. I can't even put into words how much that would mean to me.
Well, that's the best part about creating a world like this, is that every table, every group, every DM will bring it somewhere else. There's a whole network of different stories that are gonna be born out of that.
Yeah, it's not just one theme. It's multi-tiered, because you get bored of one theme.
Well, it's not just that, but it's humbling because everybody's got their own story, and there's going to be, I don't know how many stories being told with your setting.
And I would love for people to share their stories back with us.
That would be amazing.
We'll open that up for a totally different venue, but I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's one of the things
that has, yeah,
should open up in the future.
Great. I'm very happy to be doing this with you.
I am so happy to be doing this too. This has been an absolute dream come true. Mm-hmm. It's been a long trek, and we still have a long ways to go yet. But
it's not easy, but things you love that are worth doing aren't easy. If you have a dream like this, follow it. You never know what'll happen with it. I have no more questions left on my side here.
I'm out of questions as well, and we've probably gone well past our mark for what we were told we had to stick to for time.
Wow.
Sorry.
Thank you, everyone, though, for checking in with us, and hope you enjoyed this. If you have more questions, please send them in. Might not do another video, but we'll certainly answer them for you. Don't forget, the Kickstarter runs. We've still got over a week to go, March 23rd. Mm-hmm. Tell your friends, spread the word. Let's get this funded. Let's get this out there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Fun. Thanks a lot, guys.